Greetings, everyone. My name is Max Oglesby, and I'm the Joint Vice President of Finance. Today, we'll be going over the SOFO website, or the Student Organization Finance Office, which is basically where you, as RSOs, will be going to basically, get reimbursements, make purchases, and just utilize the funds that you have obtained through SGA, through the parent fund, or through other various funds from Georgia Tech. You'll go to SOFO, and they will help, make the purchase and make these events, activities, items you need actually happen. So this is their website. You can find it at sofo.godtech.edu. And basically, here's the homepage. Gives a brief overview of SOFO, what they do, and down here is a really important part of the page. This is where like you can meet with them. They have meetings available in person or virtually via phone call or Zoom. They also have walk-in hours that are from 2 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. This is where you could just walk in. If you got any questions, you can, ask the questions there. Or if you can, or if you have any other concerns, you can go talk to your accountant there, talk to someone there. They can answer any questions you have about a purchase that you're looking to make or a purchase that you currently want to make. Down here is each of the accountants that we have. The little letter ranges here represents the organizations that they are an accountant for. So if the name of your accountant is between an A and an H, your accountant is Kiara. If your organization name is between I and RA, then you have Yulene. RE and SO is Shanna, and then SP through Z is Shri Parnar. So you basically you'll figure out who your accountant is, and if you're new to your position, it's a good idea to reach out to them, make contact with them so that they know who you are and they can meet you, understand, what you want to achieve in a year, and just it's good to develop a friendship early on because it helps, when you have purchases later down. But yeah, you could click on each of these links to go to a different person, and then over here, um, these are some really important little details that SOFO has written as well. One of the more important ones, I'll say, is the do's and don'ts, payments, purchasing procedure, and travel reimbursement. Basically, each of these stages, they tell you, what you should do and what you shouldn't do with regards to obtaining funding, because there's certain parameters that Georgia Tech has to follow and certain state laws that Georgia Tech has to follow. So it's important that you guys, understand what you can and cannot do and what ranges of funding you can spend by yourself and get reimbursed versus having to go to SOFO and SOFO purchases it. So I'll go through each of those in a minute, but also over here are the different requests that you can make. The food form is basically the form you guys submit anytime that your organization has, let's say, an event where there's food with a vendor and you want to get reimbursed for that. You got to submit this. Then we have P card or vendor payment requests. The P card is basically a procurement card, so it could purchase stuff. And then the vendor payments, it's, when you're paying a vendor, which includes like consulting, coach, speaker, or just, any other vendor. We also have a purchase reimbursement request. This is for when, you have a bill from SGA that was approved and then you purchased an item. Let's say you purchased airplane ticket. You would of course, you need to do the travel reimbursement request, so that probably wasn't the best example. But let's say you purchased registration for a tournament. It was like $100, and you paid for it out of your own pocket. Then you'll go on the purchase reimbursement request, and you would fill it out. You'll basically just mention the bill, number and, the specific item from that bill that you're referencing. And you can see all that information on Engage once your bill is approved. Um, and yeah, travel reimbursement, that as it looks like, is for, when you go travel. This includes vehicle travel and air travel. Next, something that I'll bring up is the training. This is highly suggested and should be mandatory for all new and entering, treasurers or financial leaders for each organization. Basically, it's a very smart idea to watch all of these videos and take the quiz so that you understand, how SOFO and how SGA funding works. Basically, there are, different videos. First one is funding and account types. Next one is payment types, and then here are the payment guidelines. So essentially, you can watch these videos and it'll explain the different procedures here. So that is highly recommended. So you have a better grasp than just reading words. So yeah, be sure to watch that video, take the quiz, and everything will be great. I'll go over the do's and don'ts now. Okay, some do's. Submit funding requests in advance. It takes multiple days to process. This is because, there's 500 organizations at Tech, so there's a lot of, requests being made, and, it does take time. So, if you need funding, just be sure to do stuff in advance. Don't wait until the last minute. That's never a good idea. Make sure checks are made payable to Georgia Tech or Georgia Tech Foundation. This is essential. Have all the necessary information before coming into the office. This also includes, like, if you want to go purchase stuff from a bill. Let's say you got a bunch of like decorations for an event. You got like streamers, some plants, some other stuff, some, decorations, like multiple decorations. It's good that when you go to the office, you have all of those basically links ready. Like if you're getting it from Amazon, have all the names ready so that when you go there and have software purchase it for you, it's quick and easy for you and for your accountants. Fill out the food form when purchasing food except when off the shelf. Yes, this is going back to like the vendor. Like if you go to like Publix and you get like some like a bag of chips and some Pepsi, for like for an activity or event open to the Georgia Tech public, you don't need a food form there. This is for when you're requesting food from Georgia Tech dining or when you're requesting food from a vendor. Let's see. Check that you have enough funds before submitting your request. Keep a keep a track of your transactions to reconcile with SOFO when necessary. This basically refers to um, keeping track of like, okay, this request you're still waiting for funding. This request is good, so it refers to that. And then obviously contact SOFO when you are unsure of something. If you have a question, instead of trying to figure it out yourself, just ask SOFO. That's why they're here. That's what they're here for. Now I'll go over some of the don'ts, and these are very important. Down here, I'll talk about some of the ranges that I mentioned earlier. So the first one, don't prepay for services or your organization will not be reimbursed. This is referring to the policy with SGA, where SGA cannot fund items that were prepaid or entered into a contract prior to the bill being approved. So if you bought something and then went to SGA for money, you would not be able to get reimbursed. Don't wait 60 days to deposit a check into your organization's account. It will not be accepted. Just be sure to do that. Don't do that. Don't deposit an invalid check or your account will be charged $25 to $35. Just policy. Don't make any purchase of more than basically $2,500 because it will not be reimbursed. This just means that you cannot pay $2,500 out of your own pocket and then get a check from or get a reimbursement check from Georgia Tech. Anything $2,500 and more, you have to go to SOFO, and then SOFO actually buys it for you. This is just policy. This is the way it has to be. So less than $2,500, you can pay for it out of your own pocket and receive a reimbursement check. More than $2,500, no reimbursement check, have to go to SOFO. Okay, next. Don't purchase anything using GT logos from a non-licensed vendor. Don't purchase and bring food at Georgia Tech for more than $600 without the food exception approval from Student Center. This is basically the, food policy. It's what SGA bases, its funding off of. If a request for food and drinks is less than $600, it's funded in full. If it's more than $600, it depends on the attendance. If it is more than $600, you do have to, and from a vendor, you do have to get approval from the, GT Dining Student Center as well. You can find that on the Center for Student Engagement website too. Don't spend SGA funds before the budget or bill is approved, basically tying back to the retroactive funding that I mentioned earlier. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so the payments section, it shows you the payment by check request and then payment by requisition. This is what I was talking about earlier with purchases above essentially $2,500. And then we have a couple more ranges down here. Any equipment purchase that's over basically $3,000 must go through purchasing and be tagged as GT inventory. Any purchase over 10K from a non-contracted vendor must have or will need to go out for a bid. And then this one mostly pertains to like large organizations or organizations that require equipment that is, pretty, I'll say expensive. Um, Yeah, any purchase over $25,000 made from a non-Georgia Tech contracted vendor must have two additional and might go out for a bid, regardless of sole source justification. This is basically saying that like, this product is very expensive. What is this product? What's the cost of this product by other vendors other than the one you chose? And yeah, it's essentially that. It also mentions payment by procurement card. This is the P card, stuff that's under $2,500, and then some other payments as well. So yeah, be sure look over this website, see what it is that pertains to your issue or your situation at hand. Be sure to go to training. Also got frequently asked questions. That's really good. And yeah, if you guys have any more questions, you could reach out to your accountant or Edo Diabaka. He is the director of finance for SOFO. He's the head person there. But yeah, best thing to do is like first step, reach out to your accountants, ask questions, and then you can also reach out to the JVPF at finance at sga.godtech.edu for questions or concerns. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.